shit, yeah, they bread stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an...
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Mad Matty Fight Talk. UFC 291 just got done wrapping up over in Salt Lake City. We had a massive fight card from the main card opener to the main event. This card was absolutely action-packed. If you missed it, check me out right now. I'm going to be giving you guys the results of what took place. Let's jump right on into it, man. To start off, I know Las Vegas is the fight capital of the world, but Salt Lake City has been getting so lucky with such great fight cards last year and this year with really historic moments taking place. But we're going to jump right into the main event. And don't forget, guys, if you like my content, don't forget to hit me with subscribe, like this video, check me out, check out my page. But let's jump into the main event. We had Dustin Poirier taking on Justin Gaethje for the second time. Both of these gentlemen have already fought once before, something like 5 years ago, where Dustin Poirier got a TKO stoppage over Justin Gaethje. Well, this was the rematch for the BMF title. The bad motherfucking belt was on the line, and it was a great fight. The first round was very action-packed. Some very nice boxing exchanges from both gentlemen. Justin Gaethje landed a pretty nice head kick, but it looked like Dustin Poirier was trying to set up a left high kick. He kept getting Gaethje to lean and dip to his right, which was setting up a nice left high kick. I mean, he didn't really land it flush, but you could tell Poirier was definitely trying to time that out because he threw it like 3 or 4 times throughout the first round. But 1 minute into the second round, history took place. Justin Gaethje took a page right out of Leon Edwards' playbook. You know that Trevor Whitman definitely learned something from Kamaru getting slept by Edwards because he used that to his advantage and implemented it into Justin Gaethje's game plan. Gaethje threw a nice straight right, hit a right high kick right behind it, wrapped it around Justin's ear, and put him to sleep. Dustin's ear, and put him to sleep. Dustin got dropped hard and another follow-up punch to finish it. Gaethje's the man. That was a nice finish. That was a beautiful setup. That is a deadly combo for any of you kickboxers out there. You guys need to start putting that into your playbook. Hide your kicks behind your punches because clearly it gets knockouts. Now, the craziest thing about that is Dustin Poirier blocked it. He blocked it, but the foot wrapped around and hit him in the back of the ear, threw his equilibrium off, and he got planted, and then he got hammer-fisted, and it was it. Herb Dean slid in there like a fucking guy stealing home plate and stopped the fight. It was over. So Justin Gaethje is now your BMF champion at 155, and rightfully so. He deserves it. He earned it. Both of those guys are very identical to me in careers, and one of them was going to go out. So hats off to Justin Gaethje. I definitely thought Dustin Poirier was going to win, but you can't doubt Gaethje, man. You know, you got fighting, you got to pick one or the other, and Justin Gaethje got the job done. So shout out to him, one of the top tier fighters in that division. But we're going to move on to the co-main event. And the co-main event had some very big implications in it as well. You had Jan Blachowicz taking on Alex Pereira, the former champion, taking on the former champion. And there's a lot of drama in the light heavyweight division with Jamal Hill having to vacate the title, Yuri Prochazka had to vacate the title. So it's a lot of passing of the belt, passing of the guard. This fight had a lot on the line. The winner is most likely going to be fighting for the championship. Jan Blachowicz came out there and definitely tried to implement a game plan that was good for him, which was use wrestling. You're going against a very big kickboxer with really good technique. He went right for a takedown, absolutely controlled the first round, tried to go for a rear naked, tried to get the finish, but it looked like that kind of gassed him out because the second and third round, he was getting slower and slower, and Alex definitely did more damage standing up. He put some fat welts on Jan's leg. It was a very back and forth fight. I mean, the second round, you could see Pereira stuffing takedowns, getting back up, fighting to his feet. I still thought Jan won rounds 1 and 2, but Alex Pereira ended up winning the fight by a split decision. So clearly, that's not what the judges saw. Me personally, this might be a hot take here, but I thought Jan Blachowicz got robbed. I thought he definitely did enough to win. Alex did more damage standing up, but Jan, completely dominated the first round. To me, that could have been a 10-8. It wasn't complete domination, but he's going for a finish the entire time. But Alex Pereira landed the more dangerous shots. And I think what really played into the judge's mind, if you, in a close fight like that, or what I guess was a close fight, is Jan Blachowicz looked tired. You know what I'm saying? That plays into their head. They're like, oh, this guy's gassed out. He looks hurt. He looks like he's getting hurt from these strikes. And it plays into their head. It'll steal a close round to somebody who looks like they're doing more work. So shout out to Alex Pereira for getting the job done in a split decision. I wanted Jan to win. I thought Jan won. I still think Jan won. But, I'm not a judge, and whatever. Once the fight's done, it's done. Alex is definitely going to be in the championship fight. He's most likely going to be fighting Yuri Prochazka next. It's not set in stone, but, if my MMA math, which usually isn't right, is right, that's probably what's going to be happening next. Now, the fight before that was the return of the knockout king, Derek Lewis, taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima. And this had all the makings to be an all-out war. I mean, you had Derek Lewis, a heavy hitter, taking on a very fast striker in Rogerio de Lima. This fight, it ended extremely quick. Derek Lewis came out doing Derek Lewis things, just rocks right across the ring casually, gets into range, and throws a flying knee, which he landed flush on the chin, which I thought was crazy. The dude is so athletic for how big he is. Man came in with a six-pack, so he meant business. Lands the flying knee, drops de Lima right on the ground, and just starts sending those lunch boxes home on his face. Just pounded this dude. It was over in like 30, 40 seconds. I mean, the flying knee already did the damage. Then getting hit by those big clobber knockers, bro. That dude's hands are huge, and he was just wailing on this guy. So, fight ended pretty early. I mean, 33 seconds into the first round, and Derek Lewis gets KO of the night for sure. Just a flying knee from a dude that big. It's insane to see that stuff like live happening. I couldn't believe it. Comes right out of his pants, took his fight pants off, and started dancing. The dude's wild, man. He's very entertaining, very funny. And apparently that was the last fight in his contract. It sounds like he wants to re-sign with the UFC. There's no reason the UFC wouldn't re-sign him, especially after getting a highlight reel knockout like that. And you would be losing one of the most entertaining people on your roster. So he's most likely going to get re-signed. But Derek Lewis, shout out to him. He got it done. First round, 33-second KO to be the all-time leader in UFC knockouts. He's one ahead of Matt Brown now, who has 13, and Derek Lewis has 14. So the knockout king is back. We move to the lightweight division. The fight before that, you had Tony Ferguson taking on Bobby King Green. I was very excited for this fight because we know Tony Ferguson has the capability of being a very good fighter. He was on a 12-fight win streak at one time. I know everybody talks about that, but that's really crazy to go on that kind of a run on the highest level. And he was taking on Bobby Green, who was coming off of a pretty bad knockout. Now, Tony Ferguson's on a 5-fight lose streak going into this fight, and Bobby Green picked his ass apart. I mean, it looked nice. Tony Ferguson has some moments where he was landing stuff. He tried to take the fight to the ground, and he got stuffed. And Bobby Green was landing some clean shots. And then when they did go to the ground, Bobby was landing nasty, nasty hammer fists, nasty elbows. It looked like he was completely taking over the fight. Third round comes around. Late in the third round, Bobby Green gets a nice arm triangle and puts Tony Ferguson to sleep. Had the man kicking his little legs. The commentators are like, oh, he's defending. I think that was his body losing oxygen and saying, I'm not tapping, but I'm definitely going out. Bobby put Tony Ferguson straight to sleep. Got a big win against a big name. I can't wait to watch Bobby Green fight again. He's one of my favorite fighters. He fights with his hands down, and he lands clean, flush punches. He has very underrated grappling. I'm excited to see what's next for that man. So shout out to him. He got a late third-round stoppage over Tony Ferguson. I don't think I've ever seen Tony Ferguson get strangled like that. It was kind of crazy to see. And Tony being on a 6-fight losing streak, man, I mean, I know you love fighting, bro, but I think it's time to hang it up or take some really lower level competition because you are not the guy you once were. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And we're going to move to the main card opener where we had Michael Chiesa making his return. He had a 2-year layoff coming into a very difficult fight against a guy who fights extremely often in Kevin Holland. I don't know what to say here. Kevin Holland looked great. I mean, it was a great fight for him. Michael Chiesa, his striking was not, I never thought it was great anyway, but it definitely didn't look good in this fight. Struggled to get Holland to the ground. And even when he did get Holland to the ground, Holland ended up landing a nasty Darce choke and ended up tapping Chiesa out early in the first round. 2 minutes, 39 seconds into the first round, gets a Darce choke and taps Chiesa out. So 2-year layoff coming up against a guy like Holland who's been working very hard on the ground, very hard to get back into it and, mix it up as a mixed martial artist. Very impressive victory for Holland. I personally thought Chiesa, even though it was a 2-year layoff, I thought his grappling was going to reign supreme, but it just shows that Kevin Holland's been working hard at his craft and that he's getting better. Now, he said after in his post-fight interview that he does want to move back up to 185. I don't know if he's just saying that, if he's actually going to do that, but I like him at 170. I know it sucks to cut the weight, but he's a dangerous big dude at that weight class. I would like to see him stay at 170, but if he moves back up to 185, he's still very entertaining, and the guy can crack. He'll be fast. Now he has the jiu-jitsu skills to go along with his striking. Very curious to see what happens next for Mr. Kevin Holland. But the main card was just unbelievable. And I have to give a prelim shout out to probably one of the best knockouts of the night. And that's Roman Kopylov with a nasty head kick knockout. Beautiful. Absolutely obliterated his opponent. Put him to sleep. Maybe not put him to sleep. Dropped him hard. The dude had no chance of getting up. So Roman Kopylov, man, that's a guy you guys should be on the lookout for if you don't know who that is already. In his post-fight interview, he called out Sean Strickland, and I would love to see that. That would be a very entertaining fight. Kopylov has the power. Strickland has the pressure. It would be interesting to see how that would mix. Like always, guys, thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to hit me with the like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more content. I will see you guys very soon on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an